What the fuck? Man, you gotta stop doing that, like, for real.
You want to make sure that you stay sketchy.
Well, scaring the shit out of me every time you literally just either appear in a room or I just wake up and see you sitting right there. Like, bro, like, I get it. You can teleport and you have a creepy voice, but just tone down on that shit, please.
I told you I'd be a nuisance until you got Brightburn done.
I know. Gotta get Brightburn done. You gotta get Brightburn done. You know, like, since I did 2 reviews in one video, can I just do one more before I even do Brightburn? Like, because, like, wouldn't it be fitting just to do, like, a 3-set movie when the 4th movie is called Final Chapter?
3-set movie? Final Chapter? What are you talking about? There's nothing to do with mine.
You don't know the name of the final chapter? That's Friday the 13th, 4, the final chapter? Like, that's what it's literally called. Like, does the only horror film you've seen is Brightburn?
I've seen plenty of horror movies. I just like Brightburn a lot. It's just one of my more recent movies. Yeah.
Look, I know, like, you have some weird obsession and weird infatuation with Brightburn. I mean, like, it kind of feels weird that, like, either the moment I've mentioned it or ever since I've done The Man of Steel, like, Brightburn has been either in the back of my mind or someone around me won't ever shut up about it. But let me get one more video done before Brightburn, damn it.
What movie?
I just told you, does the shirt right now not give it away? Like, I literally went to bed after I recorded those 2 videos just to do this one today, and then I'll do Brightburn after that one. Does that make you happy?
As long as it gets done tonight. I can be in the outro of this week.
Yes, you can be in the outro too.
Do not mock me, mortal.
I'm not mocking you. You're just being an annoying little brat right now.
That's because you won't obey my requests. You should be afraid of it, not just lollygagging in bed right there. Not even afraid of it. Just look at the sky.
Look, you may be some, like, intergalactical being or paranormal being or supernatural being, but this is still my channel. I can still control anything you do. Well, your little snippy snappy fingers knocked it out of my hands. I'm gonna do turn the light on now. Oh, the light's on. Gotta get this little baby to shut up so I can get part 4 done, so I can get his Brightburn done. Oh. God. Now he can fucking teleport me into different locations and change my clothes. Or I just don't remember putting pants on. What the fuck? Oh. Anyways. Hello everyone, this is MykeCheck'd95 here, and this is the long-awaited review of Friday the 13th, Part 4. I am 4 movies in, and I have 8 more to go. Yeah, I have 8 more Jason films to go. But Before we get into the review, I'd like to remind you guys that I do have Patreon accounts for both MykeCheck'd95 and RDW Red Dust Wrestling. Links will be on the screen right here and down below in the description box. There's also links to all my social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter and whatnot, so that you can reach out to me in any way, shape, or form, so that we can discuss about any of the videos that I've done in the past, or maybe future video ideas that could happen in the future. Again, a quick follow on Patreon and here on YouTube would be very greatly appreciated to help out your local movie reviewer / whatever the hell he wants to do on this channel, because I mean, I'm branching out, but I still don't know how to describe all the other outlets that I'm wanting to talk about in this channel, but mainly movie reviews. But let's stop rambling about my social media and Patreon accounts, and let's get to Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. Or so people thought the final chapter was, because there's 8 more films after this. Right here, on this little notebook here, I have notes, both describing my notes I took during the movie, and kind of the list of kills that happened during the film. I'll be talking about the kills separately after I go through my thoughts on the film. First, creators of this film believed that this was going to be the final film for Jason Voorhees. As we all very much know, this wasn't the final film for Friday the 13th. This was so-called the final chapter, but there are 6 more films in the original series, plus a crossover, plus a remake. So yeah, I'm not sure if I want to say that they ran the idea of Jason into the ground in the original series, or they just kept getting money from the franchise. So take your pick and go from there. Me, myself, I personally didn't feel like the franchise went sour until like Part 8, but we won't get to those until later on. To start off with the film, we get a quick recap as what's happened in the last 3 films, and we get the whole story told to us again at the beginning of Part 4, using the Part 2 scene in the beginning when the group of counselors and teenagers are talking about Jason's history, from the first film that Jason was introduced in Part 2. We pick up where we last left off in Part 3, where he gets hung from the barn and he has an axe cut on his forehead and whatnot after slaughtering almost all the kids there except for one teenager, of course. You can tell from just this intro scene alone that they've got a bigger budget in this film for sure, and they definitely went all out, especially in this opening scene where you can see all the flashy lights and everything, because all the first 3 films were like low budget and they didn't really have much money going into it, but with all the money they've gotten from the first 3 films, they had enough to go full scale on this so-called final chapter, which I think it was a great addition to the Friday the 13th franchise as they went bigger from here. I guess you can say that when we get later on in the films. But I really enjoyed the opening scene and whatnot, and how it actually picks up right after the events of Part 3, which pretty much ties in 2 through 4 within a span of like a couple days, which is actually kind of cool. I mean, that doesn't really say that it all happens on Friday the 13th, more like it happens on the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th. So it's like a 3-day period throughout these movies. Of course, Jason is presumed dead at the end of Part 3, and they take his body to the morgue where he escapes by pretty much coming to from his unconsciousness state, taking a hacksaw and pretty much cutting and twisting one of the morgue doctor's heads, and gutting and pretty much ripping open a nurse with like a scalpel of some sort. And just these first 2 kills that you see in the film, you know the special effects are going to be great, because Tom Savini is actually doing the effects of this film. If you are a gore hound for horror movies, you will love the effects of this movie, even for how old it is. It's great. I think it actually stands up for what it is now, because a lot of effects nowadays, they do rely too much on CGI, and some films are not the best. So I tend to like more realistic makeup special effects more than CGI, and that's why I do appreciate slasher films more often, for the most part, if they do use them. After he kills the 2 doctors and escapes the hospital in the morgue, we pick up to the next day where we get introduced to the family that we're going to be pretty much seen throughout the entire film, the Jarvis family, and also the group of teenagers who will be living across the street. Now the setup with the two houses were actually pretty interesting too. I liked a lot. It gave a lot of, I guess, room for all the action to happen, and I actually quite liked the setup for both places, and just it kind of gave a great like campground feeling to it, and it looked very natural. And speaking of natural, the group of teenagers and the Jarvis family were pretty much acted like a normal group of people. Like the teenagers were like a normal group of friends, and the Jarvis family really seemed like an actual family with how the acting was in this film, and it was phenomenal. I actually really liked it a lot. It really helped out a lot that we had Corey Feldman in this film. He did a great job in this film as Tommy Jarvis, and there was a bit of a comedy relief with Crispin Glover. Crispin Glover was actually a great comedic relief in this film, and I honestly wished he would have survived because I actually felt bad for his character throughout the movie. Another thing I want to point out, you can compare it from the older films to the films after this, Jason seems a lot more aggressive and vicious in this film, probably from getting pretty much attempted murder brought upon him, and the more times people try to kill him, the more pissed off he gets because he just wants to be left alone at the camp. I'm kind of gonna skip through this and whatnot. I would say the killings are more spaced out in the beginning, of course. Like I said, after I get through my initial thoughts in the movie, I'll be going through the actual kills. But yeah, the kills are more spaced out in the beginning, kind of like adding some more story development with the characters and everything, and then throw a random kill here and there. Not really a random kill, but it just kind of spices things up, I guess. And then the kills kind of pick up more near the end. They're just like boom, 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 jams like dominoes. Another scene I want to talk about is the whole Tommy Jarvis scene where he sees one of the girls from across the, I guess the walkway. She's getting undressed, and he's supposed to be asleep in bed, but he does the whole like weird gorilla pound and jump thing on his bed, and that is, I wouldn't say that I would act like that if I was that age and actually saw boobies for the first time, but it was actually kind of funny. That's how they portrayed it in this film back in 1984, and it's definitely entertaining to watch him just hooping and hollering like a orangutan, hopping around in his bed just because he saw a pair of tits. But I mean, he is a kid, so besides the initial storyline going on with the group of teenagers across the walkway and the Jarvis family, there's another plot line going on with another character. I didn't really catch his name. I mean, I should remember his name because I've seen this film several times, but there is a older individual who's out looking around on the campgrounds because he hears about Jason Voorhees coming to and escaping the morgue, and he's on the hunt to kill him because he is the older brother of one of the girls from the previous films. I think it was one of the girls in part 2, I think. I'd have to go back and tie names together. But he wants to get revenge and kill Jason and whatnot, and I mean, I kind of like the subplot a little bit. I mean, it was kind of thrown in there just to add more beef to the story, but for now time's sake, I actually liked it more because, like I said, it did back then. It would seem like it was kind of thrown in there and not really needed, but looking at it now, it kind of does beef up the story a bit more because this film, for me, this film is a little short. It is an hour and a half long, as I can see on my screen, so I have the credits paused on my TV screen. But I mean, like I said, I've seen this film 1,000 times, so it kind of just goes through really quick, like nothing. But yeah, I did like the subplot a lot, with the older brother trying to find Jason and kill him for killing his little sister, and it just beefs up the story more. Another quick thing I want to point out, I guess, not really involving the movie, before I go on to the couple scenes I wanted to talk about. The soundtrack, of course, is on par. It's fantastic for this kind of movie. It's not really a soundtrack I would sit there and listen to while I'm driving down the road or while I'm working or whatever. But if I want to watch a scary movie like this and from the 80s, this is the kind of soundtrack I would want, especially in a Jason film. It's actually really good, and I give credit to the composer for making this soundtrack actually fit really well for this kind of movie, and it did really give a final chapter vibe, which again wasn't the final chapter, but at the time they thought it was going to be.
Getting back into like scenes in the movie, this is why I kind of wish Crispin Glover would have like survived throughout the film, because everyone always talks about it. The infamous dance scene that he does, that's like he's doing some weird fucking boogeyman dance for you wrestling fans out there who know what I'm talking about. But it's hilarious, it's jarring, it's just really wonky. Crispin Glover really played his character very well as like a really weird, odd kid. He was just kind of like the oddball, but it really fit the character. And fun fact, he's actually dancing to AC/DC's Back in Black in the actual scene, but they overlaid the music with the song that they put in the movie. So if you want to go back and actually play Back in Black in the background while he's dancing, it'll probably actually fit with his dance moves, which is actually kind of funny. Because I can actually picture it in my head. I actually haven't done it myself, but someday I'll probably do it either tonight or tomorrow. I'll go back and watch it while Back in Black is playing, but it's actually fitting if I think about it right. There's one thing I do want to talk about that kind of gets left in the air. Some people say that Jason did kill the dog in this movie. Some people say that he didn't. I would say that I couldn't remember if it was this movie or a different one where the dog just randomly shows back up in the end. It may have been in part 5, I think, if I'm right, or part 6, maybe part 3, I don't know. I think it's part 5. Yeah, the dog gets scared and it just runs all the way upstairs and jumps out the second story window. And I kind of just think that the dog, Gordon, just got fucking scared as hell and just yeeted himself out the window and just ran as far as he could away from that place and never came back. So I think that dog is perfectly fine and living a wonderful life at Camp Crystal Lake, or he's just getting the fuck out of Camp Crystal Lake and finding somewhere in town to stay, because I would do that instead of staying in the woods if I was a dog. This one is kind of more like a personal thought in my head. So in the past, I've been in a couple of group chats with friends and everything, and every now and then when I would like pop in the chat, I put in a GIF to be funny, kind of like saying, hey, I'm here, and it's Jason kicking down the door and busting it through, entering in the house. This is where that GIF is from, is in this movie. To me, that scene there is very infamous because I used it to announce to my friends that I am entering the chat. But like besides that, like just the whole part there where he's kicking on the door and everything, it's very iconic, and it's really well done, and it just shows Jason in a very menacing and scary way, and a very powerful dude, and it really adds on to the whole viciousness and aggressiveness in this film that Jason is. Also, this is also one of the films where I would like to put against the argument of people saying Jason doesn't run, and it's not in his character. Jason runs in this film, and no matter what anybody says, a running Jason is more terrifying than a walking Jason. So yeah, if I was lost in the woods and I was getting chased by Jason and he's running, yeah, I'd be shitting my pants while I was running at the same time, because that's more terrifying than anything else. I wouldn't be tripping and falling on purpose though. I'd be getting the fuck out of Dodge. How this movie really does end is like where pretty much Tommy Jarvis finds the clippings that the older brother had in his bag, and he uses the image from the newspaper clippings to mimic or impersonate Jason's child look to confuse Jason and distract him enough to where his sister could kill him, but she isn't able to kill him. She only knocks the mask off, and then he gets the machete to the side of the head, and he falls forward, and the machete just goes straight into his fucking eye. And just that, again, the effects on that kill is so good. Like, they wanted to make sure that you knew this was the final chapter, and you wanted to make sure that Jason stayed dead. So he was definitely dead at the end of this film. I would say definitely, but again, this wasn't the final chapter because there's 6 more films after this. Again, I'm so glad I spaced these out. Overall, I would say out of the first 4 films, this is honestly my favorite out of the 4. My rating for this one will probably be like an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, like a lot of people do say part 4 is their favorite. next to another part that's coming up in the near future. Right now, when it comes to the Friday the 13th films, for my personal reviewing of them, Part 4 would be my favorite out of all of them, and this is honestly my favorite Jason out of the 4 so far as well. Again, my rating is an 8.5, but I'm not done with the review. Now I'm going to go through all the kills in this movie because I wanted to make sure I got all the kills down, and I wanted to talk about each kill and what I really thought about them, so I'm not actually skipping any beats. So we have the first kill. It's the hacksaw and head twist kill. This one, like I said before, it really shows the tone and the aggressiveness and the viciousness of Jason in this film, and the way that it's done with the effects and everything is just so fantastic when it comes to like gore effects and everything. And if I remember right, this scene was shot in reverse. To me, I don't know how it was done. I'd have to go back and watch it again, but it is shot in reverse. It's done really well, I would say. And there needs to be more effects like this in horror movies because this kill pretty much says, this is the kind of movie you're going to watch. Fuck you and your CGI. The next kill is the gut. I call it the gut and cut kill. It's where he pins the nurse against the wall and like guts her with the scalpel straight through the stomach up to the chest. Again, sets the tone for the viciousness and aggressiveness, and it's not really as horrific and gory as the first kill, but it still does set the tone. I would say this is one of the kills that did get kind of cut down by the MPAA, of course. I don't really hate this kill, but it's not my favorite kill in the movie. I mean, so far, going through these kills, the first one is my favorite because of just how vicious it is. But, I mean, you gotta have your best and worst kills in the movie. The next kill is kind of random. Of course, it's done on a random character. It's the one where he comes up behind the hippie hitchhiker and like stabs her through the neck with like a knife of some sorts, and she's eating a banana. And as she's getting killed and dying, they show the shot of her like squeezing the banana straight out of the banana peel, which I thought was kind of weird, for a weird choice to show that, but it's just a random kill. It's just another body on the body count, and it's just there. The next kill is actually a lot later on in the film. I call it the inflatable boat kill, which was actually shot numerous times, and the actress in the film almost got hypothermia, which was actually not good. But I mean, at least they got the shot they wanted, and hopefully the actress was okay afterwards. But she's in an inflatable boat after her, I guess, boy toy is hanging out with one of the twins, and she's naked in the inflatable boat trying to like lure out her boy toy outside as he's making, I guess, wrong decisions. And Jason just comes up and just guts her right through the fucking boat in the chest with the spear. I don't know how this inflatable boat was made, but if there was air in the bottom part of the boat, I would think the boat would sink. But I've seen some inflatable boats where it's inflatable on the sides and it's just like a flat bottom. So this could have been one of those boats where there was no air on the bottom, it was just like a flat bottom and it was being held up by the inflatable sides, which does explain why the boat is still floating in the water when she's found later on by her boy toy. And that is actually the next kill in the film, and it's actually the most, not really gruesome, but the most cringiest to watch, but not cringy in a bad way, but more so like cringy because I'm a guy and this shit would hurt like a bitch. The spear gun to crotch kill. Pretty much states itself. Guy gets stabbed in the crotch with the spear gun, and Jason pulls the trigger and just shoots straight into his fucking crotch. And he dead. Like, he got shot straight through the dick with a spear gun. I mean, I've never seen another film that has done that, but that is definitely unique and different when it comes to the kills in this movie. And yeah, I would put this one at number 2 so far on my kill list when it came to that, even though how painful it was for me. The next one is the lightning flash / speared kill. This is one of the more subtle kills, but I think it's done well enough to where it's still good. It's better than a couple other kills that I've already gone through on this list. It's an off-screen kill, but they use the flash of the lightning to show that one of the twins gets speared from the behind and pretty much killed by Jason through there. And it's just the subtlety and like the fact that it was off screen, because you don't have to have the kill on screen to tell an actual, I guess, story about how they're getting killed. I think this one was done very well, and like this is kind of like a lesson that other films need to take. Like a lot of off-screen kills are shot in horror movies, and sometimes they're not done the best way or not done great at all. This is one of the ones that was actually done very well. The only other kill I had a problem with, besides the random banana kill, was, I guess you can call this next one a kill, the mom off-screen kill. So to kind of like explain what happens in it, so the mom comes home and the power's out and it's already started raining, and it was raining when one of the twins got killed with the whole lightning on the wall kill. Mom comes home and the sister and brother are gone, and so is the dog. Power's out and she's trying to figure out where they're at. The brother and sister left to go in town for some reason. I don't know if it was actually explained. I don't really remember if it was explained. She can't find them, obviously, and then she goes outside to look for them. Well, she's hollering for the dog, but she's trying to look for anyone. And then she kind of walks up to the side of the house and kind of like turns, looks this way, and goes, and then it cuts. So I guess she was killed, even though it doesn't show her dying, but she's not seeing the movie for the rest of the film, so I guess she was killed off screen. I guess, I mean, it's probably another scene that got cut. It got cut off and left on the cutting room floor. I think that's the fate of that one, but yeah, this is another kill this is probably the one kill I don't like at all, because it just cuts and doesn't really tell what happens. So, I mean, there's that one, and it's there, and it doesn't really have a bookend to it. It just cuts, and she's never seen the film again. So, I assume she's dead. Question mark. The next kill, this is the kill that actually made me sad the first time I watched this movie. It's the Crispin Glover kill, the corkscrew and cleaver kill. This one, I would say it's in my top 3 for how it's done, and it's kind of funny. It does add on. It does tie into how I guess the comedic part of Crispin Glover's character. But he's asking for the corkscrew after he gets laid by the other twin, and his friend can't hear him because he's too busy watching that film reel he found, and he's high off his mind. And he's yelling at Teddy where the corkscrew's at. So Jason, being the great friend he is, tells him, "Hey, I found it. It's in your hand." And then he twists him around and cleaver straight to the face. And again, like, the gore effects was just phenomenal on this. And it is one of my top 3 favorite kills in this movie, but it is the one that makes me the most sad, because this was one of my favorite teenage characters in the film. And I was just like, oh, there went Crispin. Oh well. The next kill is the other twin kill, the one where she gets thrown out the window. This one, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it does get repeated a couple more times later on in the franchise, but this is the first one where it happens, so it's the best one out of the 2 or 3, however many times it's happened in the franchise. But long story short, she's realizing her sister's bike's still here and she can't find her. She's trying to like figure out where she is, and then Jason just goes, just throws her out the window, like fucking yeets her out there like garbage, and she falls and crashes onto the car and dies. I think there's some people out there who can get thrown through a window and land on a car and survive, but this is 1984. They needed a body count. They couldn't. I guess this was one of the only ways they could figure out how to kill this character off, and that's what they did. I'm not saying everyone can survive that kind of fall. It's just I don't think it's really that convincing for the most part. I think that's why I have an issue with it. Alright, the next one is the movie screen kill. The kill that kills off Teddy, the asshole of this movie. I did not like Teddy, and when he gets offed in this film, I honestly liked it. I was thrilled that he gets killed off. Again, like Teddy's kind of the asshole in the movie. He's friends with Crispin Glover, but he keeps bullying him, calling him a dead fuck and everything, and he thinks he's hot shit. But he keeps getting the shit into the stick when it comes to the girls. And he goes to, like, I guess, fuck with the movie on the movie screen, kind of he's high off his mind. And Jason cuts the reel with a knife, and then he sneaks around behind the screen and stabs Teddy in the back of the head. And Teddy just falls down as the knife cuts all the way through the screen. And yeah. This kill I actually liked quite a bit, besides the fact that I hated Teddy and I was glad he got offed in this movie. But it was one of the better ones in the film. It's a lot better than the, off-screen or the getting thrown out the window kill. The blood is a little hard to convince me that it was actually blood. It looked like, I want to say, like strawberry jam on a bed sheet. Ooh, the next kill is actually one of my favorites because it actually shows Jason's strength before he's actually the undead Jason in part 6. Spoiler alert. This is the one where Jason busts his hand through the shower door and crushes the guy's head through the wall while he's in the shower. This one is, I do like it a lot because it shows the strength of Jason and how powerful he can be with just one hand by just crushing a person's head against the shower wall and just seeing the eye kind of pop out there. It's ugh. Like, I only say ugh because, like, I mean, thinking about that happening to an actual person is kind of gross, but it's done really well in this movie because of the effects. Alright, the next one is the last kill of the teenagers. It's the last one to get offed. It's the, I guess, virgin / nice girl. She loses her virginity by this point. It's the nice girl kill. It's the axe through the door kill, which I couldn't remember if it was an axe or shotgun blast. I don't think Jason uses a gun at all in the franchise. I feel really dumb saying that Jason's used a gun in the franchise, because I don't think Jason's ever used a gun in the franchise. I don't even know why I thought it was a gun. I probably got it confused with fucking Friday the 13th. Halloween 4, where he pretty much stabs somebody. Yeah, I'm getting confused with Halloween 4 with the shotgun stab into the door kill. But yeah, it just simple. Throws the axe to the door, hits her in the chest, she falls and dies. And it's okay. The second to last kill is I call it the he's killing me kill. This kill raises a lot of questions for a lot of fans because, like, it's weird because it's the older brother trying to find his sister's killer, and he's getting stabbed and whatnot by Jason, and all he's screaming is, he's killing me, he's killing me, he's killing me. And it can be viewed as like a comedic kill because it's kind of like, what the fuck? But at the same time, it's also kind of creepy if one of your friends is getting stabbed to death by a masked killer and all they're saying is he's killing me, and all that, you can't do anything because you're stuck in a different room and that's all you hear. It's comedic, but it's haunting at the same time. So I think that's what they were trying to go for, is the more like of a haunting kind of way. It's random, is what I'm trying to say. Like, not like super random, but it is kind of like, that's a weird choice of words, but at the same time, what else are you going to say besides And then we have the final kill in the movie, the kill that kills Jason completely. I did talk about it a little bit earlier in the review with Tommy Jarvis. With Tommy Jarvis disguising himself as Jason as a kid. He takes the machete and smacks him on the side of the head with it, pretty much going straight through his eye, almost like all the way through the bridge of his nose. And then Jason, dazed by the attack, falls forward and the machete just slits straight forward through his head, which again is pretty much putting the exclamation point saying, hey, this is going to kill Jason. He's going to be dead after this. But somehow he's still alive by moving his fingers, or that just could be like nerves just kind of going through the last phases as he's dying. But the kid wanted to make sure that Jason was dead. So he starts hacking away at his body. Again, putting the exclamation point saying, yo, Jason's dead. Like, we're killing him in this movie. Like, there's no way to bring him back. But movie logic says that there's always a way to bring him back. I would say this kill and the hacksaw head twist kill in the very beginning are my two favorite kills in this movie, just by how just gory and vicious they are, and just the point that they're trying to tell. One saying how vicious Jason's going to be in this film, and the other saying, the exclamation point saying, Jason's dead, and he's not coming back from this one. So both of those kills are honestly my top two favorites. It's honestly a tie when it comes to the two. I would say my second place kill would be the Crispin Glover one, just by how impactful and how just sudden it is, and just by how impactful and how sudden it is, and I would say it kind of catches you off guard. It's a great jump scare kill, and again, it's done by a great actor as well and whatnot, so I did like that kill quite a bit. And then my third favorite kill would honestly have to go to the spear gun to the crotch kill, just because like it gives me the emotion of, oh god, like I wouldn't want a spear gun getting shot through my dick. That's the worst feeling in the world. Like, I wouldn't wish that upon any enemy of mine. Like, oh my god, thinking about it now, it hurts my brain thinking about it. Just Jesus Christ. But those are my top three favorite kills, a tie with the first and the last kill in the movie, the corkscrew kill, and the spear gun kill. Those are all the kills, and those are my favorite ones. The worst one, I would say, have to be like the mom kill, where she kind of just gasps and then her scene cuts. Again, I feel like that there was more to that kill, but I think it just got cut out of the movie and left on the cutting room floor and then swept away to be forgotten forever. Thrown into the furnace and let it burn and just forgotten forever, so probably never gonna see like what actually happened to the mom. I mean, I don't want to say that I want to see what happened to the mom, because that'd make me a fucking psychopath, but at the same time, it cuts out quite a bit of the story, which I mean it could be cutting down one time, but it's not. It's the worst kill in the film because it's just a off-screen scene cut kill. But anyways, my rating again is 8.5 out of 10. My favorite Jason film out of the first four that we've gone through so far. What are your thoughts on Friday the 13th Part 4? What are your thoughts on the Friday the 13th franchise so far at this point forward? Which one's your favorite? Is it Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, or Part 4? Give me your thoughts in the comments down below, or reach out on social media to kind of tell me what your favorite is, and we can discuss about it. And I mean, I could open up another video and talk about like why this is one of my favorite ones, I guess in more detail. Or if you want to do a collaboration, I mean, we can both talk about it and kind of discuss our thoughts and feelings and bounce off ideas from our teeny weeny brains and try to get a common ground on it. But all in all, I really did enjoy this movie. Like, watching it again, it reminds me how much I do like Friday the 13th Part 4. The next time you'll be seeing me will be the review for Brightburn. Finally, I can finally put that movie behind me, which has been requested heavily by my friend the Harbinger, which I don't know where the hell he is. I figured he would want to watch this film with me, but he's not here. He's here somewhere. I know he is, because he's just hiding somewhere, or he's just off doing whatever the fuck he does on his own time while I'm doing these. Again, give me your thoughts down below, or your thoughts to me on social media. This has been MykeCheck'd, another MykeCheck'd Productions MykeCheck'd movie review, signing out. And remember, I'll have more films Friday the 13th coming after Brightburn. And before I go, I do want to announce another film I want to do after I get Brightburn done. The other review that I'll be doing after Brightburn will be another horror film, another slasher horror film that I do have a soft spot for. It's actually the horror movie that kind of, I guess, broke my fear of horror movies, which I'll explain in that review of my history of horror films. But I'll have to wait and see what the title of that horror film is. I can give you a hint right here. And I'll see you in the next one. Sometimes it's hard to record reviews. You either A, can't remember what you're saying, or B, you have really bad indigestion and there's a lot of chops in it. Chops in the video, in the editing part. I need a drink. Oh, Jesus Christ. So you decide to hide all the way to the end of the video.
Oh, I was still watching it, just from afar.
Yeah, I know. Have to do the next review by your command.
Yes, it's finally time.
Wait a minute. I thought that this was one of your favorite movies of all time. This is still in the package wrapping. Like, plastic is still on this. Like, I figured this movie would have been watched 1,000 times by now.
I got you a brand new copy, just in case you decide to stop and skip out on you in case of the disc glitch. You won't be able to do that if it's a brand new movie.
But I already have a copy of this. Wait a minute. Is this why you were gone the entire time? You stole this from the store?
Steal? Oh, no. There was a payment. In blood.
You can't just go around killing people, man. Shit. You could have been followed. Like, were you followed?
Really? You really think an intergalactical being like me, who can teleport wherever the hell he wants, was followed?
Well, yeah, I guess you're right, but my point still stands. You just can't go willy-nilly and kill anyone that you want to. Like, come on. Even for a damn movie like this.
You're no fun. But if you really must know, I don't care. I found a movie in a $10 bill. Stays away from me. No Ron Chen was involved.
Wait a minute. Now, like, you lied to me? Well, at least no one died over it, I guess.
But I did still see it.
Damn it, dude, come on. Wait a second. Why was this movie in the $10 bin? It came out last year.
Beats me. Now quit stalling and let's get started.
Hold on. That might explain why the reviews on this film aren't that hot. Is that why it's in the $10 bin?
Hush! Their opinions don't matter. Only yours does.
I mean, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Like, I mean, everyone person's a different taste from a movie they watched. One person could like this movie, but another person who watched the same film could still hate it.
So again.
You know, I have a question. Of all people, why did you choose to harass me? I mean, come on, you could have harassed anybody else. To be real with you, like, I don't have the most exciting lifestyle. Like, I honestly don't do anything. I just go to work, come back home, I either edit videos or upload them, and then I sleep, I wake up, and repeat the same thing until my couple days off from work. And I honestly don't do anything on those days off. Like, what gives? Really? That's the reason why? I mean, I can kind of get it because the entire time you've been here harassing me, all you've done is threaten me the entire time.
Hush! It got your attention at least.
And I don't think your real name is Harbinger, or the Harbinger of Death. I think it's just a facade. Like, we'll just spit it out. Like, what is your real name?
Fine. It's Billy.
Are you serious? Billy the Harbinger? Like, you can't be messing with me. Your real name is Billy.
Shut up! I was bullied, called a joke, because I had more of a heart than my brothers and sisters.
Whoa, wait a second. How many siblings do you have?
72.
Jesus Christ, like, how?
I'm not from this world. I was genetically made like everyone else that's in my family. Just made with more remorse than the others.
Well, Billy, I guess just take some time and get some rest. And then we'll come back tomorrow and I can help you with this issue you have. I'm sorry that I haven't really taken you seriously because I did not know that was the problem that you've had. If you would have came to me at the very beginning with that, I would have understood more. But you had this facade on the entire time that I just couldn't take seriously. But it's okay. I get it. I understand. Tomorrow, when you wake up and I get back home from work, we'll sit down and watch Brightburn, okay? Promise. And I can help you with this whole no friend thing, okay?
Yes. I mean, good.
Just drop the evil gimmick. It's a facade. Just act natural. And everyone knows by now. Just drop it, okay? Please.